the scene was that my boyfriend was in a cupboard watching whilst I was cheating, and people obviously know that I'm married and that I've got a partner and stuff, and people were commenting saying like, are you not worried that like your partner's going to see this and realise that you've just cheated and this, that and the other? And I was like, this isn't actually real. I'm not really actually real life cheating and then putting it on the internet. Yeah. And he's one of these people that he's like, oh yeah, you're fit, yeah, you'll love you. Yeah, I'd drink your piss, I would. And that's what he literally said to me. And I was like, no, you wouldn't. And he was like, yeah, I would. And I was like, all right. And he was like, what? I was like, go on then. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I was like, well, you've said you will. And he didn't think that I would go through with it. So I was like, yeah, all right. So obviously done it in the glass under the table and give it to him. You'll see from the video, he even like swirls it around. And then
not so much as a mixer with it either as well. Just knocks it back as a shot.
Down in one.
Oh. Welcome to Your Round Podcast. Me, John Lebbon, Auntie Ellis, and today's special guest, Roxi Keogh. And cheers for coming on. And it's the first time we've done a show where Auntie's actually done some prep on the guests, because we've had boxers on. Auntie didn't know them, footballers didn't know. But today he knows more about you than you. So
oh wow!
You should feel a little bit.
Does he know my name?
Yeah, Roxi Keogh. Yeah.
But cheers for coming on. What we thought we'd do, what we normally do, is go back to the start. So when you were a young lass, did you ever have visions that you were going to get into the sort of adult industry when you were late teens and things like that?
No, never. It didn't even really cross my mind. I left school at 16 and was a civil servant.
Right. I
was quite happy with my office job. I went into doing like PA work, and I used to travel up and down. I used to actually fly to Newcastle on a Sunday evening, work in Newcastle for the week, fly home Friday, and do that with the Department of Work and Pensions.
So, because you got into being a policewoman as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I was a police officer at 21.
That seems like a bit of a jump from a policewoman to like an adult film star, doesn't it? How do you make that jump?
Well, my best friend wanted to join the police, so she applied, and I thought, oh, I don't want to. But at the time, I was only 20. We were so close, and I thought, oh, she applies, I'm going to apply. She didn't get through, and I did. And I thought, 9 months of application. I thought, I can't just throw all that away now. And everyone was like, no, you've done it. Go for it. Do it. So I did. I only done it for a year. I love the buzz of the job. The buzz of the job was brilliant. The paperwork and the hours, I didn't really like. And then, so I quit and went back to being a civil servant. I went back to my old job. I was there for another 4 years. And then I applied for, me and my partner, I was just talking about, like Babe Station and the TV programmes. And we were just talking about whether I would do something like that. And I was like, yeah, why not? So I applied online via an agency that deal with TV models. Applied literally on like the Wednesday, the following day, the channel manager emailed me and was like, oh, do you fancy coming down and talking to us? So I went down, had a chat with him on the Friday, had a trial shift the following week. And then 3 times a week, I think I probably was doing to start with. I was doing my civil servant job, Monday to Friday, 8 till 4, finishing work at 4 o'clock, going home, grabbing my bag, driving to North London, working a night shift, literally finishing from there, showering, washing, changing and going straight to my like civil service job in the morning until I fell pregnant, had my little girl. I had maternity leave, and then when I went back to work, I hated it. I used to love my office job. I really enjoyed it. And then when I had her, I was having to leave her all day, every day, earning half what I was earning on TV. And I just thought, there's no point in doing this now. I might as well just quit this. I've kind of got a bit of a name for myself with the TV work now and doing some extra modelling. So I quit my civil servant job and then started on the TV.
How long did it take before people at work realised you were doing that job? Did anyone just say, I'm sure that looks like her. Do you know what I mean? That looks like her.
Well, just before I left, I got called into a meeting room with my boss, and he showed me some internet photos. I'd already handed my notice in, so there was nothing they could say. But he did say, it's been brought to our attention that you've been doing this like additional job, and obviously it brings because it was a government agency I was working for, it brings us into disrepute. And I was like, well, I've handed my notice in, so there's nothing, what more do you want me to do? I'm quitting. So yeah, there were a few people that, but I don't, to start with, because I had that job, I tried to keep it quiet. And I tried to I just done the TV work. I didn't do so much of the modelling stuff, and I tried to keep it quiet. There was a few people that phoned me whilst I was on TV that knew me. And they would make that quite obvious down the phone that they knew who I was and back home. But I don't know, the more I kind of then started to own it, the more people couldn't really say anything, because people would phone me up and they'd be like, oh, when I see you in the street, I'm going to shout out Roxi Keogh. And when I was kind of like to them, well, go on then, and I'm going to tell everyone what it is that you're phoning me for and what you're doing down the phone right now. You're going to be far more embarrassed than I am because you're paying to phone me. So, and the more I kind of was like, yeah, that is who I am. This is what I do. I don't care what anyone has to say about it. People kind of left me alone.
I think like a lot of the taboos left it now. Like, I mean, it's on mainstream telly. I mean, there's probably 15 or 20 channels at the babe stations. Like, so it's
you get a lot of like, look at things like, I don't know if I can mention things like TV programs and stuff. Oh, okay. So look at, you've got Cara Delehoy. She won Love Island. Yeah. She has an adult industry background. So it's not really...
Game of Thrones, the actress out of that was...
there you go. There's loads now. Look at Bella Thorne's just smashed it on OnlyFans. It's not really seen as... You get the odd girls that are very bitchy and sniping. I've had that, especially in my hometown, and look at her, she's a mum, she should be ashamed of herself, and... Why? What am I doing that you're not doing? I'm just getting paid for it. It's my job. So it's...
Yeah, but to be fair, you could be working in a fucking hairdressers and you'll still get bitchy girls.
Well, yeah, exactly. You're still going to get...
Yeah. Was it nerve-wracking the first time you've done it? Because I imagine Babe Station, it's just like cameras like this.
Yeah.
And putting in time for, like, how long are you on set for doing
that? So the first channel I went to was Expanded TV. And when I got there like a couple of hours early to do makeup and stuff. And they have literally 3 beds on the set. And I was shaking. I had to go and do like some pre-photos first for them to put up on the internet and stuff. And I was shaking. I was literally in a lingerie set and they're like, right, on the bed. I had my earpiece in, then I was thinking, it then kind of hit me literally as I was walking to bed, I'm about to be live on Sky. Like, this isn't even funny now. It hadn't really hit me until I was literally about to walk on set. And then it was kind of like, it's only going to take someone to flick over to this channel and they're going to see me. And there's like, it's not an encrypted channel. People haven't got to pay for this or anything. I'm literally there live on TV. And but then once you've had a few phone calls, I didn't really notice it. I got into it quite easily, to be honest. It was...
Did you tell your family before you done it? Because I can imagine just say like your uncle or something through channel saying, "What the hell?"
Yes, I did. Every time I was on TV, I would phone certain male family members and let them know that I was on screen, just so they didn't scroll through.
Sandra, is this Roxy?
Yeah, I've had a few.
Do you get paid more on Babe Station if more people ring up? How does it work, or is it just a set wage?
So if no one rings different channels work different ways. So the first channel I was on, which was Expanded, you get paid a flat rate. You get paid, they'll say to you, this is what you're on for the evening. But they work on a bonus scheme. So the longer you keep people on the phone for and the more phone calls you take, you're on a tiered bonus scheme. So you can make more that way. Babe Station, you're on a set rate. They don't do a bonus scheme like that, but they do something called a perv cam. So obviously you can't show a lot of stuff on the TV, but they will have a separate webcam off screen that people can then log in online. And then you earn from that, because you can obviously, the camera can be up here at like head height, and I could be completely naked at the bottom showing them stuff on webcam. So then you earn from that way. And so it's different channels do different things. There's also another channel which is actually just all commission based now.
How much is the audience? Like, how many people are watching? Do you know? Do you get
I haven't
figures?
got a clue.
That's what I mean. I can imagine it being quite a lot.
I wouldn't.
Especially on a Friday or a Saturday night, like after a few beers. I
would probably say you average maybe about 1,500 minutes.
Right.
So you start at 9 o'clock usually, and you'll be on for like an hour and a half. You'll come off for 20 minutes, go back on for a couple of hours. It's quite relaxed. Like, it's not a set, right, you're on till... Well, you are on till a certain time, but they're quite flexible with an hour and a half here, 20-minute break, then you're back on for 2 hours, right up until 5 o'clock in the morning. And it's 9 till 10 o'clock, you have to be in full lingerie. You can't show any nudity at all. From 10 o'clock onwards, you can take your bra off. You can take your underwear off, but you have to be angled so nothing's showing until 4 o'clock in the morning. Then you have to put your bra back on, because you can't show anything after that.
Because people complain. I've seen that in the paper. I think it was Babe Station or something. I think at 10 o'clock someone had like slipped the top, and they rang in and complained. Who's watching Babe Station?
Seeing a move thinking,
oh my God, this is terrible. Do you know what I mean? Like,
what is going on?
Put your clothes back on. Put your blinking clothes.
Yeah. But it's long. It is a long
I was going
night.
Like, that sounds like that. Like I mean, an hour and a half isn't that long, but we think an hour and a half of having like
and it's
conversations
fine. But
like
when
that,
you get to like 3 o'clock in the morning and you've got to still be on screen, and obviously even if you're not on the phone, you've still got to be smiling and look awake and be happy and energetic, because obviously people aren't going to phone you if you're sitting there like this. And just waiting for someone to phone. You've still got to have a bit of a
just on your mobile.
You've still got to be a bit lively and stuff to obviously get people to call in. And people think it is an easy job. I can't say it's not an easy job. You're literally on a set all night taking phone calls. It's not hard, but by the end of the night, come 5 o'clock, you just think, oh God, I can't wait to take off my eyelashes and just go home and go to bed.
Does your confidence grow the more times you do things like that? The first time you're a bit like that, and then after a while you think, oh, I'm just going to get right into it. I'll get more money that way.
There's still a few things, like there's still certain things, like aspects of my job that I'll do, and I think, oh, I've maybe only done it like once or twice, and it still makes me feel a little bit, oh, I'm not 100% confident with this. But in general, like, so I had a friend that I also got a job on TV, and she was very kind of like, oh God, what if people don't like me? She didn't have fake boobs at the time. She was very like, oh God, like I haven't got the boobs like you've got. And I was like, yeah, but at the end of the day, people aren't going to phone you for your boobs because you haven't got boobs. So, and afterwards, it only took her a couple of weeks, and her confidence, she was like, oh my God, like so many people are phoning me. I feel so attractive. And she'd never felt like that before because she'd always been conscious of her boobs, but she had people phoning her because she had small boobs. Yeah. So it was really kind of like,
so and
I said to her, like, you're not going to be on a bed with a girl with big boobs and someone's going to phone you and start talking about the other girl's boobs. Because they're phoning you for you. So it's obviously, you get the odd person that obviously with the phones and stuff that phone, or same with social media and stuff, that will message and they will try and rip into you and, oh, your estate, there's this, that and the other wrong with you, and you just got to be quite thick-skinned with it.
Imagine
to be honest.
texting in, it costs about £3, doesn't it? Imagine sending a text
that's what my kind of response would be when people phone and you think, you're paying £2.50 a minute to tell me I look like shit.
Especially if you're on
Turn
commission.
your TV over.
Yeah.
What's the...
Some people have rang in before to see how they can cook a pizza, haven't they? Can you cook this from frozen?
Like, I've seen some of them. I've seen some of the funnier ones, like where a guy rings up and asks about the cricket. Now, like things like that, I can imagine isn't too bad because it's not having a go at you. It's kind of like, well, obviously, if I put this online, it'll get a bit of a laugh. So that's not too bad. But as you say, obviously, if they're ringing,
same as you get, especially on the weekends and stuff at pub kick-out time, you get the group of lads on the phone that are all drunk and they're all having a bit of a laugh with each other. Some of them can be quite funny. Some of them are a laugh, and it does break the night up from just trying to get a guy to finish what he's doing and stuff. So it can be quite a laugh.
do you get recognised in the street? Because we were saying about this before. I can imagine if you're walking down the street and the guy's with his wife thinking, I know her from somewhere.
I have seen your face and I can't think where from.
Yeah. Oh, my answer usually to that is fake taxi.
Right, okay.
If someone says, where do I know you from? I'll either say, well, you watch porn, or I'll just say, it's fake taxi. The red hair, it's really hard to hide with my red hair. I've covered in tattoos as well. So if I'm in a bikini or shorts or something, people will instantly recognise me from my tattoos. I've been recognised on holiday, at theme parks, Nando's, really random places. But I don't mind. It doesn't. It's nice to have that recognition. It's not like it's not in like a big-headed way, but it's kind of nice to have people be like, "Oh, I know you. Where do I know you from? Oh, I know. I follow you on XYZ or this, that, and the other." And
well, at the end of the day, you know that if you're doing that, that like you're doing something right because you're getting to see, and ultimately that's what you want, so you can make some cash.
And people just have 10 million questions as well.
Yeah. Well, that's what we've been like when we got there. We were just sort of like, how does that work? And same with the fake taxi. Are you actually driving that taxi, or is that on the back of a truck?
No, I'm driving it.
Right, so you're driving. That's multitasking, isn't it? When you're
passing the knowledge.
Well, obviously I pull over to get in the back. I'm not still driving it whilst I'm doing anything.
We were doing our research on this, and what they need to do is disable.
You was doing your research? You mean you was watching Fake Taxi?
Research is research, Roxy. Come on, let's not split hairs here.
And some of the comments they could do with disabling the comments. There was one saying, just as well she's good in the sack because she can't park. You think, who's that guy? Right?
Who's interested? You get it all the time. There's so many times we'll be filming something, and I'm trying to think of an example. Okay, we'll film something in the morning, and say we break for lunch, and then when we finish filming it, it's nighttime. You will get that one person who will say, This is a really long kind of session. Or it was daytime a minute ago and now it's nighttime. You will get people that mention things all the time. You think, really? Just have a wank and get on with it. Who cares whether it's daylight or nighttime? Like, just It's really weird. Or I'll do a scene with odd socks and people will notice that I'm wearing odd socks. I'm like, what are you looking at my socks for?
Well, we were Googling the funniest comments, and I think there was one saying, can I watch Ace Ventura 2 if I haven't seen the first? Like,
wow.
It's not Game of Thrones. You're gonna get it. You know what I mean? Like, I think you'd be all like going straight into number 2.
Yeah, you don't know the characters if you just go straight into the second one.
Well, I was going to say, like, the only problem like that I could see is, like, if you're never going to charge anyone like for a lift, you're not going to be making money yourself, like, because you're always constantly saying, "Oh, well, I'll give you for free."
Yeah,
for free. Well, you know what I mean. Like, you're not thinking of the profit. Are you?
I'm not. Someone should bring that up.
Well, I do it.
I'm surprised actually someone hasn't said your taxi must have gone bust ages ago.
I do a little bit on stand up, and the bit I do is on the feature on there on them exotic websites. It says share to social media. And the bit like, how many lads are sit there watching the video think, I tell you what, my family and friends would love this on Facebook. Do you know what I mean? Why have they got that feature?
My Auntie Deirdre would love it.
Oh, yeah, my mum and dad would love this. Share to Facebook, LinkedIn.
Yeah. I've seen this top. I think it'd look lovely on it. I think we've got a quick question if we can from an outsider. Like, go.
It's not a question. We're talking about people's comments. Remember the scene you done where Ollie hid in the cupboard? Yeah. Somebody actually said on it, you're cheating on your boyfriend. Surely he's going to see this and leave you.
Yeah, so I done a scene in a hotel, and the scene was that my boyfriend was in a cupboard, watching whilst I was cheating, and people obviously know that I'm married and that I've got a partner and stuff, and people were commenting saying like, "Are you not worried that like your partner's going to see this and realise that you've just cheated and this, that, and the other?" And I was like, this isn't actually real. I'm not really actually real life cheating and then putting it on the internet. Yeah. It's. Really think about it. Yeah. Some people just don't really think about.
When you get like the email through for like a producer or director saying, "Oh, Roxy, want you to do this?" Do you know who you're going to work with before you get there? Because I can imagine like you turn up like, "Oh, I'm not working with Fat Maureen or Dirty Dennis or something." You know what I mean? Like, "Oh, that guy smells like ham. I'm not working with him." Or do you know beforehand before you get
Generally,
there?
yes. So I don't do boy girl porn for mainstream companies. Fake Taxi, I do the girl stuff. So mainstream stuff I don't do boy girl, so it doesn't really, I don't generally have to ask like what guys are on set and stuff like that because I'm not normally working with them. If I was, or if I have been on set with guys, then if the producer doesn't outright tell you, then I would message personally, and I know other people would do, just to check who they're working with. There's certain people in the industry that don't get on with each other that producers might not know about, so they always try and make it quite clear who's going to be on set, who you're actually working with, and preferences and stuff like that. So they're not really, it's not kind of like, right, you in there, you didn't know each other, or you haven't met beforehand or been told about each other before. Everyone knows who everyone is pretty much in the industry, unless you're new. And everyone follows everyone on social media, and then you find out who you're working with, and then you follow them on social media, and you follow back, have a little bit of a chat first. And
I was going to say, how, like, obviously, because there's so many free porn sites now, how do you actually make money? Like off them nowadays? Because
the free porn sites?
Yeah, but because obviously people aren't going into like to the shops and buying DVDs anymore. Like,
no, so a lot of it's based on ads and stuff. So Pornhub, for example, they've actually got a page up at the minute which has got me on it. It's got 22 million views. I don't have anything to do with the site. I haven't put it up, and there's other random people that will get my videos off of my sites, put them up, and they get paid for each video they've put up per views. I'm actually in talks with them at the minute with moving it over so that it's my own profile, having all the videos taken off that people are getting paid for, and then I get paid for them, and then all the ads and stuff that you have on your page, you get paid for those. You get paid for like every 1,000 or 10,000 views or something like that. And but yeah, there's loads of free porn out there now. It's ridiculous.
Because you have the OnlyFans as well, don't you?
Yes.
That's like
everyone loves OnlyFans.
That's what I mean. Well,
my next door neighbours, I think, have got OnlyFans. Everyone has got OnlyFans these days.
Kerry Katona's got it. Jordan's getting it and things like that. From the outside looking in, you always look at it and think, there's that much free stuff. How come they get that stuff? And it's same with Amazon wishlist. We had a look on a few, and people were putting like kettles on and toasters. You're like, do you just go around the house and think, I could do a new light? Or
I moved house 4 years ago, and I really I've always wanted one of them beds where the TV comes up out the end. So I put it on my Amazon wish list. I thought it was like £1,200 bed, and I thought, this is never going to, I thought, I'm just going to chuck it on there. I've got perfume, I've got underwear, I've got hair stuff. And I thought, I'm going to just chuck this out there. And I had a guy message me, and he's like, oh, you want that bed? Like, yeah. Sent it to my house. Ordered it for me, bought it for me, had it delivered to my house. Still got the bed. Yeah.
What it's to us sort of outside, it's like, what does he get out of that? Like I know he might become friends.
This particular person, he actually lives in Australia. He's maybe mid-20s now, I think, and we just used to chat on Skype. He would buy stuff from my Amazon wish list like every week. He put a fair few £1,000 direct into my bank account to pay for one of my boob jobs. I've had my boobs done 3 times. He paid for the second ones. I've never met him. I've never been to Australia. He hasn't been over here since we've been talking. We've just Skyped. Nothing even rude. We'll just chat on Skype for like half hour at a time, and it's personal. This is the thing with the OnlyFans. This is going back to when you're saying like, why do people get OnlyFans and stuff when there's so much free porn out there? The difference with it is, obviously people like to see and watch what I've put on there, but they can see that online. What people like is the kind of personal level of it. Is OnlyFans is generally the only place that I will interact with like followers. I don't like saying fans, but like people that follow me. Work stuff I'll do on Twitter, but if people want to actually talk to me on a personal level, then it will be on my OnlyFans. So they have to subscribe to my OnlyFans, and then they talk to me. They'll get messages back. They'll get private pictures. Like I do custom videos on there, live streams and stuff, and then that's how I kind of interact with people rather than other places. It's
like Big Brother, isn't it? You know, everyone's obsessed with people now, aren't they? Yeah. You sort of like, you'll be like their reality show sort of thing, and watching each other. I wonder what Roxy's doing. She's at the gym.
Had my nails done earlier. I took some pictures of my toes, so getting those done. That went up on OnlyFans. Someone will love to suck those. You laugh, but I'm telling you.
I believe it.
Well, it's weird because you look at it's a different world, isn't it? And I remember being in the services a couple of months ago, and there was a guy buying a porn mag, and you just think, what world is it?
It's so niche nowadays.
That's what I mean. Like, why is it?
I don't even know what shops. When I'm on a cover of a magazine, I generally tend to go and buy them, but I don't even know many shops that still sell them.
I haven't seen one in
they've been banned in places like Smiths and stuff. They've all been taken off the shelves and.
He was buying it with a Capri Sun. Just slammed it on. I remember being me. I think, okay, Wi-Fi. It's about...
Bit of hand sanitizer.
Oh, that's all right. I just thought, just a guy. He had no shame whatsoever. Just slammed it on. Capri Sun. I just thought, probably petrol as well.
I remember one of my local news agents, they still do top shelf magazines. And I was on the cover of one and I went in and bought it. And he looked down at it. I didn't have my makeup on, but he looked down at it, looked at me, he'd done it about 4 times. And I had to say to him, yes, that is me. And he's like, can I have my picture with you? And I was like, oh, I'll come in tomorrow when my makeup's done. I was like, not now, I look awful. But yeah, about 4 times he had to kind of like, and I was like, yeah, it's me.
What do you prefer, the modelling side of things than the adult acting side of things?
I don't know. I don't really have a preference, I don't think. I like the modelling, especially when it's something different. It can get a bit kind of bog standard when it's lingerie in a bedroom kind of shoot. But the modelling side of things are fun, especially outside. I love doing outdoor stuff. I don't know if you must have seen on my Twitter from your research. I do loads of public flashing and stuff outside, so I love being naughty outside.
I've got, the guy in the club with the glass of...
Yeah.
Oh.
The glass of my champagne.
Yes. Yeah.
My pinned tweet. Yeah. So I was in this club with this guy. I know him. Obviously, I was at the table with him, so I know him.
Yeah.
And he's one of these people that he's like, oh yeah, you're fit. Yeah, you'll love you. Yeah, I'd drink your piss. I would. And that's what he literally said to me. And I was like, no, you wouldn't. And he was like, yeah, I would. And I was like, all right. And he was like, what? I was like, go on then. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I was like, well, you've said you will. And he didn't think that I would go through with it. So I was like, yeah, all right. So obviously done it in the glass under the table and give it to him. You'll see from the video, he even like swirls it around. And then
not so much as a mixer with it either as well. Just knocks it back as a shot.
Down in one.
Oh.
And he's a friend as well, because that's like...
I know him.
That's a weird conversation to have, isn't it? You know, like if you're out having a drink and stuff like that, I can imagine that's a bit... I don't know. It's very different, isn't it?
Yeah.
What does your husband think of this? Like when you got into it?
He's usually the one filming it. He's usually the one saying, yeah, go on, do this. So, for example, you've seen that one. I don't know whether you've seen the lollipop video. This video went viral to the point where I had my dad phone me. I had friends phone me that were on building sites at other ends of the country, and they're like, babe, I've just seen a video of you on my mate's phone and I'm on my work site in Shoreham or wherever. And I was like... I had my dad phone me and he's like, he knows what I do, so there's no kind of, and he's like, I'm in a WhatsApp group and apparently there's a video of you on it. And I thought, oh no, what on earth could this be? He said, it's something to do with a lollipop. Oh, I couldn't stop laughing. I went to the boxing in Manchester, the Tony Bellew fight in Manchester. I was out having a laugh. I was with my husband, a couple of friends, and there was this guy dancing and he had a lollipop in his mouth. And he was dancing up behind me, like getting all close behind me. So I literally reached round, took the lollipop. I had a pair of leggings on, but I had like a leotard, and I pulled my leggings down because I just do silly stuff like that. So I pulled my leggings down. They were like literally to my knees, and I was just dancing. I had this leotard on, and I took the lollipop out of his mouth. I pulled my leotard to the side, put his lollipop inside me, and then just put it straight back in his mouth. My husband filmed it and put it on my OnlyFans. Someone took it off of my OnlyFans and put it on a site, and it just went absolutely mad to the point where I had to put it as a pin. I put it as a pin tweet, and I was like, look, if everyone's going to share this, then I might as well just be the one to put it out there rather than everyone. Because obviously there was comments, oh, that's gross, that's disgusting, he doesn't know where she's been and stuff like that. And I was like, it was a laugh. It's a lollipop. Like, I'm not going to have a sexually transmitted disease and give it to somebody else on a lollipop. I wouldn't, obviously you just wouldn't do that. Yeah. And yeah, it went, like I said, I had my dad on the phone and you could see what I was doing, but you couldn't see anything explicit. So I sent the video to my dad and I was like, yeah, watch it. I was like, there's nothing. He thought it was hilarious and he was like, oh my God. He was like, what are you like? But yeah, it absolutely went mad. But to the point where I had people messaging me buying lollipops, pussy pops. I was selling pussy pops.
Like push pops?
Yes, yeah. Like push pops.
So with your husband, that it's like, just say I go to work, Auntie goes to work, you come back, oh, how was your day? Is it just the same dynamic, like, oh, how was your day at work? And, oh, brilliant, Steve, or whoever you work.
Depends what I was doing. Model shoots and stuff. While I'm at work, he'll normally message me and he'll be like, I'll send us a few photos, let me know like what sets and stuff you're doing, and I'll whatever lingerie or whatever outfit I'm wearing, then I'll take a few pictures and send them to him. And there's that kind of like, obviously he's still, I don't know how he's not bored of me physically, because it's everywhere and it's all the time, but he's always still kind of like, oh, that looks really nice and all that kind of stuff. So, but then when I'm on set doing videos and stuff, he's my imagination. So I'll be like doing content stuff, like what I'm here for the week, like we're shooting and stuff. So there's performers coming each and every day. Normally he's the one behind it with the scene ideas. I don't have the imagination for it. I'll do it. I'll do the scenes because they're a laugh, but a lot of my scenes are like a cheating niche. I play it quite well, apparently, that I'm a cheating bitch. Normally the scene ideas are his, and he's behind them, and like the ideas for them of like, I'll be like I've done somewhere, my boyfriend's playing PlayStation with his mates, and one of his mates gets up, I make him a drink, and he ends up bending me over the sofa behind my boyfriend. Or like I've locked my boyfriend out on the balcony, and a whole glass balcony, and literally his mates had me on the dining table, and he's feeding me chocolates that my boyfriend's just bought me, and all kind of bitchy things that add into it to like a comedy value, because then people are kind of like, oh my God, like this is really sexy, but she's such a bitch. And it's
that's where you'll get the comments like, what score did he get on FIFA on PlayStation and stuff like that. And do you have a business plan going into this? Do you think, right, I'm going to do this for 10 years, or is it just play it each year, see how it goes and things like that?
I did kind of, and like I was doing content trips and going abroad and doing more the kind of producing side of it, and then obviously lockdown happened and it's just kind of wiped this whole year out. And so I'm just at the minute taking it as it comes. Yeah.
Because your OnlyFans and things like that, does that vary each month? Yes. So like 1 month you're like, oh my God, we'll go to the Maldives this month, and then next month we can't afford Blackpool. Is it very much that way? And is it hard, because there's so many people, like you said about OnlyFans, there's that many, like Kerry Katona's on there. Is it hard to make your like content different from everyone else? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing with OnlyFans is if you haven't got, like, a few people have said, like, what am I doing wrong? I'm just putting loads of stuff up of all random stuff, and like they'll put sex videos up and this, that, and the other. You kind of need to zone in and have a certain thing rather than just everything. People are more interested if it's like, if you've got a certain niche. Like I said, I do a lot of the public stuff, a lot of the cheating stuff. So people generally tend to know when they go on my OnlyFans, that's the kind of stuff they're going to see. And any like requests and customs and stuff that they want. But I don't know, like I get people that like, there's a lady in my tanning salon and she knows what I do and stuff. She's like, oh, I'm trying to talk my husband into letting me do OnlyFans. I think, really? Like, it's really bizarre. Like, obviously anyone can do it, but it's really bizarre to just walk everywhere and be like, everyone wants to do it. It's just really...
It must be getting like hard to make money on it, because it's almost saturated the market. It's like there's so many people on it, as you say.
And there's more coming out as well. Obviously, where OnlyFans has made such a hit, you've got Admire Me, which is another site which is pretty much the same, and one that's literally come out this last maybe 2-3 weeks ago, Pocket Stars, which is another one. There's also another one coming out, I think VIP Dolls or something. There's because OnlyFans works so well, you've got the people that kind of like, oh well, I can do that, and then they're also trying to do them kind of platforms as well. So that's also then taken away from OnlyFans, because then the traffic's also going and spreading elsewhere. Right. So it is hard to kind of zone in and keep it high.
What advice would you give someone new getting into it? So just as a young girl, because I can imagine coming into it, you don't have a clue. What advice would you give to someone saying, oh, definitely don't do this, or don't work with them? Or is it anything like that you would give advice? Or?
I probably wouldn't say don't work with certain people. There isn't anyone in the industry really that I wouldn't personally work with, that I've had problems with or anything like that. There isn't really. So I would probably not advise people to not work with certain people, or specifically to work with certain people and stuff like that. But what I would advise is just, I don't know, you just have to kind of, it's really silly because obviously not be clueless, but that's hard if you don't know what you're doing. But it's just kind of, because people will try and push you. So I think what you need to do if you're setting out is set your levels and stick to them until you want to change them. So when I was doing TV, I then started on a platform called Purple Port, which is just a modelling portfolio. And I was just doing topless. Whilst I was on TV, when I started, I quit my civil job and I was just doing topless. And then I decided when I would then do implied nude, open leg, solo masturbation stuff, then girl, and I made the decision to then up those levels. But I did along the way have certain people and like photographers or companies and stuff that were like, oh, well, can you do this? Like, well, no, I don't do that. Well, can you fly our shoot? Well, no, because I don't do that. But you will sometimes, I think, younger girls and stuff that are new to the industry think that, well, that company's asking me to do that, so I should probably do it. So I think the best advice that I probably would say to someone is pick your levels and stick to them until you're ready to increase them, and try and long it out. Don't just like jump in. Like I said, I don't do boy girl for companies. I've been in the industry for 6 years now, and yes, I do boy girl for my own sites, but I don't do it for any mainstream companies. And when I do decide to do that, then the money should be there that will make me want to do it, because I've waited so long and it's not everywhere and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. Like, surely one of the biggest things you should be doing is like realize that the second you go into it, the second that you've like finished the scene, that's going insane. So so if you haven't gone into it with your eyes open, you need to know that like your mum and dad are going to see it. Yeah. If you've got brothers, they're going to see it. Your brothers' mates.
Don't get me wrong. I know a fair few people in the industry that their families don't know they do it. I don't know how. I really don't know how. Like, I know someone that does fake taxi, and their family don't know they do it. Like, her partner does, but nobody else. And I think, I don't know how people in this industry, unless they blur their face, unless they mask their face, which a lot of performers do sometimes. I don't know how people manage to hide it. So yeah, you do need to understand that your next door neighbour's going to see it. The guy down the road's going to see it. Like, if you've got children, people in the school are going to see it. It's like mums, dads, the teachers, everyone in your life, from your milkman to your postman to your parents, are going to know that you're doing it. So you need to be prepared for that. You, again, like I said, with a thick skin, you need to be prepared that there are going to be people that when they walk past you will look at you differently and will talk about you behind your back and say things to other people. But at the end of the day, as long as you're happy with what you're doing, you're not hurting anyone. You're not causing any distress to anyone that doesn't want to watch. So it's...
Yeah, but let's be honest, like half the people that are giving you those looks, they're going home and going like on Pornhub and watching porn themselves. There's
especially the girls.
There's a reason that they know who you are because they've seen
it. Of course. Yeah. And the girls, it's generally because they've caught their fella watching. Yeah. Or you walk past. There's been a few times I've walked past in the street, and you get the guys that are kind of like that, and they get a quick, swift slap from the girls that they're with, and it's Really? You could have made that a bit less obvious.
Is it like when you first set out, you're at that level, and then you make your way up to like fake taxis, sort of mainstream now, isn't it? Like if you say that to any lad in the room, they all know what it is. Do you have to start off at the bottom and then make your way up to that level, or could you go straight into that level?
You could, if you decide that you're going into the industry and you contact them and they're happy for you to shoot them, that can be your first ever shoot.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have
Sounds
to.
promising.
I don't even like catching a glimpse of myself getting out the shower. I couldn't imagine what.
I don't watch myself. I can't watch myself on video. It makes me cringe.
Yeah, that's a thing, because you're looking at yourself thinking, oh God, my bum looks big and stuff like that.
Yeah, certain angles I'm like, I can't look. I can't. No, I can't watch myself on video. I can't hear my voice or watch. It just makes me cringe.
What about the American scene? Because I'd seen Louis through. We went over there and it was all like high budget and stuff like that. Is that something where English girls look at and think, oh, I wouldn't mind doing the LA scene? Or is it one of them you think, I'm better off here, I'd make more money here? Or
it depends. The thing with America, so I've been in touch with an American company about shooting my first boy girl with them if and when I decide to do it, purely because they're such a big company and the quality of the filming is so good that if and when it comes to me doing my first boy girl, it will be with them. But they also shoot in the UK. As much as it's an American company and it will be edited and stuff, they do shoot in the UK. But yeah, I don't know. You're going to get people that are like, oh, America, it's like the big dream, and I don't know. I've been to America. I've been to the AVN Awards in America, and it was very glamorous and very lush. And like the AVN Awards that they do, they're literally like the Oscars.
Well, we've seen this before, and we didn't even know they did awards for that sort of thing. So we're looking at it, and it just looked. You wouldn't think it was anything but the Oscars. Everyone's getting the photographs.
Yeah,
and like that.
So I went. I went not last year, the year before. They put on a exclusive Lil Wayne concert that I went to. There was only 100 of us there. An exclusive Lil Wayne concert. I was on the red carpet. I got an invite to the awards. I didn't end up going to the awards, but the expo and everything that's there, it was at the Hard Rock Hotel, and they advertise it on billboards. Taxis are driving past with it across their sides, and it's not hidden at all over there, and it is literally like the Oscars for porn.
I've obviously been in that industry. How many weirdos do you get? I don't know why. I've just got visions of guys in rain jackets just falling on it. Oh,
you know what? Sod OnlyFans, I really wish I got paid for every time someone said to me, what's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to you? What's the worst weirdo you've come across? Like, yeah, there's a fair few. I don't want to say weirdos because they're all very lovely people, but no, there are some sickos out there. Honestly.
That's what I can just imagine. Like,
I don't want to say weirdos. Let's call them sickos. Weirdos.
Yeah, no, there are some. Nothing really shocks me. I don't like to. Most things don't shock me anymore. There's not really many things. I don't get offended easily, and nothing really surprises me. But there has been the odd time, and I've thought, wow. Like I moved house, like I said, 4 years ago when I moved house, and I was dealing with a guy in the office and was just doing all the paperwork. When I provided like wage details and stuff, I give them my Babe Station invoices and stuff, and obviously on there it says Roxi Keogh. Didn't really think anything of it because they're a professional company. So I've turned up at the house to get the keys and sign the paperwork, and when I've got there, the guy's introduced himself, and I was like, oh, it's not you I've been speaking to on the phone. He's like, oh, no, I'm the owner of the company. I was like, oh, okay, cool, fair enough. Didn't really think anything of it. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we've not spoke before. And he was like, oh, you know, I've spoke to you before. And I thought, oh, I'm sure it's so-and-so that I normally speak to on the phone. He was like, oh, no, I phoned you. And by this point, I've not even clicked because it's just not that environment where I'm thinking Roxi Keogh. And he just outright went, yeah, I like school uniforms, and you was kind of in one on Babe Station one day, and it took my fancy, so I gave you a call. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he was like, right, in the kitchen, the paperwork, and he was just so blasé about it. And I thought, this is really weird.
Bit of professionalism.
So I've gone into the kitchen, I'm reading through like the paperwork and this, that, the other, starting to sign it. And he's like, oh. Then he just starts randomly talking to me about him and his wife, and that he likes to swing, but his ex was very into it. His new wife's very vanilla about it. And then he just was like, so do you think it's gay if a guy likes to like a finger up the bum? And I was like, what? Are we actually having this conversation? I was like, well, no. I was like, really depends whose finger it is, to be honest. I was like, if it's you and another fella, then that's pretty gay. I was like, but if it's a female, and I was like, but no, it doesn't.
And who's this guy? Your accountant?
No, he was the owner of the estate agent.
Oh, the estate.
Jesus Christ.
And then he got into like wanting to literally show me his dick, and I was like, no, like he was literally walking around unbuttoning and I was like, no, I was like, that's not how this is how. And I really loved the house and I thought if I really didn't like this house, you'd be getting a kick straight between the legs and I'd be walking out by now. But yeah, he was really full on kind of like, so like, do you do like dick rates and stuff like that? I was like, no, like I'm here to sign some paperwork and leave. And I was like, oh my God, like he's got keys to my house.
But like, I can't think of any other profession like where someone would do it. It's like if you were a dentist, they wouldn't go in and go, have a look at this one, right?
Yeah.
It just wouldn't happen.
Oh yeah, you got a bit of a chip there. That must be from a dick.
Yeah.
I would class him as the weirdo that we were talking about.
He was definitely a weirdo. He's no longer. I don't live there anymore anyway. But he left the company a couple of years later and actually took my mobile number and WhatsApped me randomly afterwards. I had to like block him because it was just. But yeah, you get some weirdos. You get a fair few weirdos.
Your husband looks quite handy. I would have just set him on him, to be honest with you. Like he looks like
he was down south. He wasn't there. Otherwise, I should have turned up with him. I should have.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, because we were saying before, and because I said there would definitely be weirdos. He went, no, people will be professional and stuff like that. I went, no, you're going to get the rain jacket guys and the odd guys.
Oh yeah, you get there's custom requests you get that you just think like I've had guys message me, they're like, oh, can you I want to watch a video of like you doing a full fuck scene. I want the guy to come inside. I want you to quickly pull your knickers up, literally so it doesn't come out, and then pretend you've come home to me and then like sit on my face and stuff. I'm like, what, with somebody else? Like you want me to pretend that I'm your wife, gone out and cheated on you, and then come home and sat on your face? And it's like I really don't understand what gets some people off. Feet used to be like a real thing for me that I didn't understand. And I'd be like, I really don't understand feet. Like, that's the most mildest fetish I think there is out there.
I feel like this has blown my mind.
Talk about vanilla. I'm just sitting here.
I'll be honest with you, Roxy, I thought I was a man of the world, and this has put me in my fucking place.
But so people would like pay you to take a photo of the feet? Like your feet, so they just want to see your feet sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I've had people actually say and send and like pay me to go and buy brand new socks that are like this is how in depth people go. Brand new socks that are fluffy, put them on, wear them for a couple of hours, take them off so I've got fluff between my toes, take a picture of that, and that's what they want to see.
And they pay for that?
Yeah. I've had guys that will say, can you wear stockings for the day, put trainers on or anything sweaty on them, and then send them like the sweaty, smelly stockings. And oh yeah, there's
a market for it. Make some money from it.
Men are just gross, aren't they?
We are a bit sick.
And like percentage-wise, do you ever have any women that follow like the OnlyFans and things like that? Or is it like 99.9% men? Or
I'd say majority of it is men, but there are a fair few girls that like message me on my social media or that follow me on OnlyFans, or that even girls that I know that question and ask things and want to know this, that and the other about the industry. And there's quite a lot of girls out there.
It's that interaction bit as well, isn't it? I think that's where people will be like, just say you're a lonely guy in the house and they'll pitch you. I watched Ukraine Brides, and these fellas were paying like $25 to message this women and stuff like that. And you're like, they're getting connected where you can just tell that woman's just like, oh, having a lovely day. And she's like, oh, my girlfriend. And you're like, no, she's not your girlfriend. You know what I mean?
I've got a family member that used to do the phone chat lines, and she would literally be sat there doing a crossword with EastEnders on in the background on the phone, like, oh yeah, you're really doing it for me. Yeah. While she's writing out her crossword on the Sun newspaper. Like, it's, and then the guy's at the other end thinking he's getting like a great time.
Because the phone lines and stuff like that, that's not as popular now, is it, with the internet? It's all like evolved, hasn't it? Sort of thing.
Webcam and the TV channels is more popular with the phone lines because obviously they can see the girls. The chat lines that with that example is like the old style chat lines where you just pick a number out of the back of the paper and stuff and you phone it, and it could literally be anyone that you're speaking to. Whereas now it's not really.
That's got to be old men still ringing them. Like you know, like they're just not going to veer away from. They're not into the new technology. It's like they're still looking like in there, because like young lads aren't doing that. Surely to Christ.
No, the young lads are phoning your TV channels and stuff, or going on webcam and.
Or even just going on free porn.
Or just going on free porn.
Because I can imagine that's where the cancellations come on your OnlyFans. Like if they get a girlfriend and they're living together, I can't imagine that joint bill looking good. You know what I mean? Like,
there are a few people that say, like, especially with like wish lists or like PayPal payments or bank transfers and stuff like that, and they're kind of like, oh, I can't bank transfer because then my girlfriend or my wife's going to ask like who this is, or how do I buy you something on Amazon without it coming up as Amazon, and like you just think, oh, like really, either just tell your girlfriend or your wife. It's
Could you not have put it under like a different name? Do you know what I mean? Like house utensils or something. You know what I mean? Like
they should do that, shouldn't they?
Yeah, if you
Marks and
change,
Sparks.
That's what they should do. Yeah,
something like that, and then it wouldn't look so bad on the bill when it comes through. So you might do more business that way.
Toaster or kettle.
That's what I mean. Yeah. And with the
Asda delivery.
that's what I mean. Something like that. Just something dead laid back, so the wife would be like, "Nah, it's nothing, that is it."
Yeah.
Last question before we finish. Where do you see your career going? Because you see like Jenna Jameson and a few others. They're sort of mainstream now, the millionaires. Is that where you'd like to go, sort of that route, and just go more mainstream, or just carry on what you're doing?
I don't know. I'm going to carry on with what I'm doing at the minute. It's just, I don't know. I don't want to take it too seriously. I have fun with my job. And I think if I go full on mainstream, it's then a job, if that makes sense. Whereas at the minute, yes, it is my job and obviously I earn from it and stuff, but I have fun with it and I enjoy my job. I don't want it to get to a point where I've got to do a mainstream shoot every week or every other, whenever it is and stuff, and think, oh, I don't want to go to work. And so I just think I'm happy with where it is now. And if I decide to go mainstream, then I'll take it as it comes. Like I said earlier, I've thought about it and I'm talking to companies and stuff about it. So, but again, I'll just
because reality TV programs are always looking for different characters, aren't you? When Big Brother was on, that would have been like Ideal or like I'm a Celebrity. The always throw the odd wild card in there.
Yes.
Would you ever do something like just say I'm a Celebrity? Said, oh, would you come and do this? Is that something you think you do?
Well, I don't know about I'm a Celebrity. I don't like snakes.
Big Brother.
Yeah, maybe I would. I see. I know someone that does management and stuff with Love Island and X on the Beach and stuff like that. So I was previously talking to him about it. Obviously, Love Island and stuff like that doesn't work because I'm married and with children and stuff. But yeah, I would do a reality TV program and it would be fun. It would just depend what one it was. Maybe not with snakes.
And start off on the chase or something like that, couldn't you? Just build yourself up, you know what I mean? Like
we'd definitely vote for it. If you got a Big Brother,
no, not one where I've got to answer questions. I just.
But it was cheers for your time. It's been eye-opening.
It's been, you know what? It's been real. That's what it's
been real.
It's been real.
Cheers for coming on.
Cheers for coming on.
Thank you for having me.